Oh, that's good stuff. Can I just say, G Fuel, I think this is my favorite. Well, no, that's a lie. Crimson Tears is not my favorite flavor yet. Raging Gummy Fish still is, but Crimson Tear, Prickly Pear is good in everything. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I just really like G Fuel. All right. So, today's a special day because the Wynncraft 2.0 reveal trailer, Spellbound, has dropped 3 hours ago, in fact. And as you can see, is my first suggestion. Olanus has already posted a video about a reaction trailer, or a reaction to the trailer about an hour ago. But hey, that's better late than never, right? It's my motto. So, I've actually already watched this, and as you can see in the tabs up there, I've also gone to the 2.0 website, and I'm very excited. I've only done a trailer reaction one other time on this channel. It was for Biomutant a long time ago. So I'm not super versed on how this works, but hey, I'm gonna watch it through one time, pointing out little things as I go, and then we will go through chunks, and then, yeah, let's just watch it. Oh, I love the music. Oh, it's giving me chills. I've already seen it. Oh, that looks so pretty. That one looks really good. And a place to hide. That looks like a fun quest. New character? Reworked quest there? New dungeon. Isn't this? Yeah, Galleon's Graveyard, so it's been reworked. Oh! Hahaha! It's like Assassin's Creed right there. Ooh. New boss. Looks cool as well. Spellbound. Oh! I've already watched this like... I've already watched this trailer like 3 times already, and oh my god, it's so good. Okay, so to touch up on a few things as we go through, so I'm gonna go back to the beginning, and we're gonna hit on a few things that I'd like to take a look at. So first off, video created and edited by Salted. Fantastic job. I love this so much. The editing that went into this is beautiful. It has my editor's heart fluttering. But before we get into that, so it looks like this is a new area here. I don't recognize it personally, but I could be wrong. It's like this giant tree, and it reminds me of that there's a tree in Gavel. There's a big tree. I think there is. Am I mixing up with Elden Ring? I've had Elden Ring on the mind a lot lately, but I do like the watermelon down here. So we have this little area here, and then it progresses to this, which looks like it's in the same like dimension or something. And this looks brand new to me. This is nothing like what I remember, at least. And I'm very excited to see what it's like. So I'm assuming this has something to do with the new raid. So this could be based on the name of the raid. It's the Nameless raid? The Nameless Anomaly. That's what it's called right there. So the Nameless Anomaly, I'm assuming that this new area has something to do with that raid, like the raid's there, because yeah, I don't really have any other reason other than it would make sense. So it looks like we have a new area there. If we scrub through a little bit, this is what I want to point out really quick, because this looks extremely similar, if not almost identical, to the portal to the light dimension, where you have the Nexus of Light raid. And this has me wondering, along with that corruption meter that we saw earlier that I'm going to get to, that I have a few thoughts on. It has me wondering if this is the portal to the dark dimension. Or I guess that would be, why can't I remember? The realm of the Dern, that's what it was. So it has me wondering if we're going to the realm of the Dern, maybe? But I don't know. I don't think so. But just the fact that this, yeah, like, tell me that doesn't look at least a little bit like it. Just the fact that it looks so similar with, like, that staircase up to the side, with, like, the 4 beams of light coming up. So this is a portal to another dimension. I feel like that would be obvious, but I just need to point out that it looks, first time I saw the trailer, this looks exactly similar, which are 2 very different words, exactly similar to the entrance to the light dimension. So it has me wondering if it's related, or if maybe just all dimensional portals look like this in Wynncraft. I don't know, because I think the only one that we go through is the one to the light dimension. Every other one we don't go to, because we haven't gone to Dern. Although we did find the portal to Dern at the end of the current game. I don't know. I just think it's interesting, the things there. And it could just be a coincidence, or just a design choice. Yeah, so reworked areas. So this is in a sack, I believe. This looks phenomenal. There's also a sauna somewhere in here, but I don't think it shows it right here. But I'm very excited for this, for Nasak specifically, of the 2 that they show here at least, because Nasak is my least favorite area. Not because I think it looks bad. I just don't think I liked the area very much, but this has me excited for it, to give it another go, because as you guys know, I don't know if you might be new here, I am very partial to stone buildings. Troms is my, it's Troms, correct? Can't believe I would forget. Yeah, of course it's Troms. What, am I an idiot? So Troms is my favorite city in Wynncraft, by far. I really like the Dwarven capital, because I'm also very partial to, like, natural cave systems with, like, entire civilizations built into them. It just sounds really cool. It's a really cool world building thing that I, as a person who wants to write and fails terribly at it, it just really intrigues me. But what was I even talking about? Oh, snowy building. Snowy buildings. I love snow. I love the cold. I love winter. It's my favorite season. If I lived in a place that was constantly winter, I'd be pretty happy with my life. So I'm very excited for this place. This place looks freaking fantastic. This place, talk about a glow up. Look at the comparison to these 2 places real quick. Wonder if I can catch it in the middle. Oh, just barely. Hey, okay, well, that's close. Not exactly what I wanted. But yeah, just like looking at the 2 areas, this place gets a really good glow up. Holy crap. Like, look at that. That looks so pretty. This is such a cool looking place now. Not that it was, like, bad before. It was just kind of bland, for lack of a better term. It's the vanilla cupcake of towns. It's not bad, and I would definitely pay money for it. And in fact, vanilla's my favorite flavor, and arguably the best flavor. But sometimes you just want a little bit of chocolate in your vanilla, you know what I mean? So this place, beautiful glow up. It also looks like the terrain around it got updated. They changed a little bit. I think it might just be the texture pack that's being used and the lighting. But it looks like the mountains changed a tiny bit. But the actual town is the big part, which, you know, yeah, it looks amazing. So I love that. Also, new quests, which look like they add new mechanics, or they have newer mechanics to, like, play around with in the quests. Obviously, this is like a hide and seek type of quest of sorts. And it looks like you're being chased, or maybe you're trying to, like, discover something, and this person does not want you to find out what it is. I don't know. It looks very interesting to me. So then you have this. So this looks like another orc quest. So this looks like it might be a reworked orc quest, or maybe it's a brand new one. I don't remember Onlook, Sarip, Zuet, or Bitalisto. I don't remember those guys' names for orcs. So this looks like it might be a new quest then, along with that other one, because I don't remember anything related to that. And I don't recognize any of these names. So it looks like these are 2 of the new quests, which is pretty cool. This looks like it's a reworked version of the cow quest, which is interesting. I do like this, although it could be a brand new one. I mean, isn't it prefaced by saying new quests? Yeah, new quests. So this is prefaced with this thing. So yeah, these have to be new quests. Yeah. So this one's probably brand new, but related to the other quest? I don't know. It's very interesting how it's kind of lined up like that. It's lined up with the new quest, those 2 that are obviously new, and then this, which is something that we have actually done before. Also, I like that I'm pretty sure this is from Salted's point of view. Salted Skin is a cow. So, like, this is just business as normal. Yeah, so then this is the new dungeon. This is Galleon's Graveyard. I think what they could mean by new is it's reworked so entirely that it's basically a whole new thing. So maybe that cow quest isn't brand new, but perhaps it's like reworked entirely so that you can't recognize it as other than the connection of you get turned into a cow. Oh no. And that's the only connection that you have with the previous version. Because this Galleon's Graveyard, that's not a new dungeon, but it's entirely reworked to basically be brand new. And from the preliminary look at it, and I believe there was also some patch notes from a while ago that showed off some more bits of the new stuff for Galleon's Graveyard. It looks like it's going to be a good dungeon. I'm very excited, especially with the new tools that they've been working with, but we can touch on that later. So we're going to keep going through this. So very excited for that. This is where I get very excited. So this looks like they're a warrior. I mean, of course they're a warrior. They're in the warrior skin. So like, so it looks like, let's just go through this really quick. Okay. Let's go through this really quick. Immediately unpauses and pauses again. So it looks like that was a new spell that lifts up and shoots away an enemy target. Or maybe it could be a combination spell of like lift up, kind of like what the warriors. I'm leveling up my warrior class right now. So forgive me if I'm mistaken, because I also traded it out for a knight. So I have slightly different names for the spells, and it's been a hot second since I last played it. But that looks like that one ability that allows you to like shoot out a wave in front of you and like shockwave people up. And then it looks like it's also combined with that first spell that you get as a warrior, where you explode the thing in front of you. But it looks like this version lifts up and shoots forward within it with like force. It doesn't look like there was an explosion, but there might have been. That looks really cool. But like this whole thing, the ability tree, this is what really got my motor going. I'm a big long-ranged fighter kind of person, which is why I thought Archer might be my favorite class once I get through playing all of the rest of them. This looks so cool. This looks so freaking cool. Now, 350 upgrades. If this is the UI for all of the upgrades, oh, talk about design porn right there. That looks beautiful. Class archetypes. So this is something I'm very excited about. Class archetypes. So we're able to do more things with the classes easily, or more easily, because right now in Wynncraft, at least my understanding of it, I'm still pretty new to Wynncraft stuff and figuring out builds and how to play. But my understanding is it's the gear that you use, kind of like a MMORPG that I played a little bit of but couldn't get into, where you basically make your class based on the gear that you're wearing and using rather than skill points of sorts. And this is kind of what this is. What Wynncraft is right now, at least, not the 2.0 version, is you turn your class that has these spells that can go one way or the other, or a couple different ways, technically speaking. Like with Mage, for example, the one I'm most intimately familiar with. You can be a full-on support mage, you can be a full-on DPS mage, you can be a full-on mild tank. Like, you can find some sweet spot in between. Like, you can do a lot with the classes as of right now. But there are obviously limits to what you can do based on the gear that you need to get, and also if you have the time and the money, in-game money that is, to get the gear that you want in order to do some of the things. So obviously with Mage, there's a limitation to how tanky you can be. It's the same with Shaman, which is actually a class that is left out in this, which makes me very sad because I think Shaman's really fun. I haven't played much of it. I really want to play more. But I believe I was discussing this trailer in my Discord. Link down in the description below if you want to join it. And someone sent a screenshot of Salted saying that Shaman just is the class that they have the least work on done right now. So it was just left out because of that, which is understandable. Shaman's archetypes are going to be a little bit harder, I would imagine, but I'm very curious to see what they do with them. I'm very, very curious. Because, like, Mage, it's pretty obvious what directions you can go. Archer, pretty obvious. Warrior, pretty obvious. And I believe Assassin, yeah, pretty obvious in certain ways. Assassin's probably the hardest of the core four. But Shaman, figuring out the three different archetypes for it, probably not the easiest, but it also could just be it's the last one they're working on. So I have no doubt that whatever they do come up with is going to be awesome and fun to try out. So I'll have to wait and see then. But yeah, so this whole deal, this has me so excited. I have more to talk about for this when I get to the website here in a couple minutes. But this looks so cool. This is exactly the sort of thing that is going to make me fall in love with Wynncraft even more than I already have. And I can't wait to play through it again. This right here. So I guess we can talk about this one right now. This one archetype that it shows you. Arcane Mage archetype. Arcane Mages cause destructive damage and chaos. Burst damage, mana. This archetype is about that DPS, guys. DPS! So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is something you can technically do in current Wynncraft, but it's not the easiest to do, and it also will require a lot more time investment to get the gear to make it so that you can do this. I'm going to talk about this more later because there's something I read on the website because I went through it immediately after watching the trailer. There's a point that I really want to touch on that has me extremely excited for the skill tree, more so than it just actually being a skill tree. So we'll get to that in a moment, but we're going to keep looking through here. New raid. The Nameless Anomaly. So yeah. So the thing that it showed you, it is an entrance to another new raid, and it has me curious. Is this Dern, or is this another dimension? Is this the Chaos dimension? Well, I mean, yeah, because like the Chaos is what's between the light and the dark. It's chaos. That's why it's created. So I don't think it's Dern, because we know, or at least we've seen parts of and killed a part of the big boss boy at the Dern dimension. So it has me really curious. I also wonder if this is Dern or if this is the Chaos dimension. Are we going to meet Laurie again? I want to know what happened to Laurie. I am so concerned that she's going to be like an enemy that we have to fight because she got corrupted or something happened to her. Or we're just going to find out that she fought valiantly to the end, throwing her morals to the side for a short time to save the lives of others, which would be a very interesting character arc. It's similar to Aang's in Avatar: The Last Airbender. The whole thing of like, I don't want to kill because, you know, it's not what I want, not who I want to be. I want to be this person who can find solutions peacefully, or I can find solutions without killing my enemies. But yeah, this isn't about Larry. Well, I guess that would technically be Laurie. Sorry, Larry. But yeah, so I'm very interested to see this. So this This is the movement spell. This is the escape spell. Whoa! I just realized something. Look at the mana bar down at the bottom. 119 out of 126? Isn't the maximum mana only 20? And it can't go any higher? Does that mean we're gonna get more mana? I mean, it looks like it's kind of balanced, as the escape spell here costs 15 mana, which would basically be the whole thing. So it has me wondering if, I mean, not just wondering because it says it on the website. The mana system's been reworked. I didn't realize that it was to this extent. That's not a detail that I realized. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to have higher numbers, but it's probably going to make it so that there's more versatility, which is A-okay in my book. Excuse me. Ooh, this is what I want to touch upon, because this shows something new that is very interesting to me. So it was brought up in my Discord. Someone put a screenshot of this in here, and it was kind of asking, like, what do you guys think this is? And my first thought when I saw this was, this kind of looks like a status bar from the Souls games. You know, when you get like poisoned or something, you have like a bar that builds up over time. It looks like that is what's happening here. And also it looks like their hearts, like their health is a different color. So they might be withering. They might have the wither effect on themselves. So it could be status effects or something that we're going to have to start worrying about now. Or maybe this is just like kind of a one-off thing. This is in the Eye Forest in the end of the game. It's at the Silent Expanse. And these are the Watchers. Like, this is all stuff that we know. That, however, is brand new. And that has me very curious. It looks like status effects are something that we're going to have to worry about now as players, rather than just something we do to enemies. Which there's also a new rework to that system that I'm very excited for. But yeah, it looks like they're being withered, or... Yeah, no, they're being withered. They're not being damaged right now. But there's some sort of status effect on them, and it's probably a bar that builds up over time, maybe the longer you're in a corrupted dimension, or in specific parts of the corrupted dimension. Also, there's a lot of things breaking on the ground right now. Ooh. But yeah, like the blinders, they're not new. Those 3 flying eye doodads, one of them looks like a Jacksepticeye. They're not new. This area isn't new, but the corrupted status effect, or at least that's what I think it is new. And also, this isn't... I just realized that's probably a bug. That's probably a bug of like the early version of the system. Negative 14 mana out of 177. Interesting. I wonder if negative mana would be a thing? I don't know how that would work, though. But yeah, no, that does hit on that other point, though. We're going to have more than 20 mana, but it might not sound as good as it does. Because obviously, well, actually, no, that bash only cost 1. It probably cost 15. That's why it's negative 14. It probably cost 15, but it was just kind of being finicky. So I'm going to chalk that up to it just being an early system right now. Oh, I've never looked at this frame. A bulb has been taken. Excusez-moi. A bulb has been taken. Bulb catcher at the top there. Is this like a new thing? The bulb catcher's in green. I have no idea what that could be. You know what it might be? Because this is before it shows off the new raid boss. This might be one of those like beginning parts of the new raid. Kind of like how my brain ain't working correct. I've been awake long enough. So this is probably like one of those like beginning mini game sort of things at the beginning of a raid that you have to do, like the little challenges. This is probably for the new raid. A bulb has been taken. So we have to defend bulb catchers or like get them to the center or something. Get them to safety? Because obviously a bulb has been taken. is probably not a good thing, but or maybe we need to do that, or maybe it could be like the one mechanic in that that one dungeon that I keep like it's very forgettable for me for some reason. I always forget what it is. Lost Sanctuary with the dinosaurs, with the creepers, because the creepers are in green, but you still have to kill them in order to get TNT. I wonder if this is similar to that. Also, the new look of some of like the attacks and spells that's going on here. Oh, I'm so excited for this. This is gonna be so cool. Also, that right there. New movement spells? Well, actually, is there a spell even being cast right there? No. I wonder if that's just a movement ability. Ooh. Yeah, because there's not a spell being cast right there. That's just part of the ability of the assassin, which is very interesting. Uppercut, bash, war scream, arrow bomb. Yeah, so there's new damage system, a new status effect system, which is really cool looking. Improved spells, new items, improved particles, improved holograms. What does that mean? Improved holograms? Gameplay, new guild arenas, bug fixes. I like that that's the last one. Right before we get to... Okay, can I just take a moment and gush about this boss right here in Minecraft? Look at okay, this thing looks freaking sick. There's some sort of like glowing thing in its chest, which is probably like some sort of like life force or something. And then it's got two obviously glowing eyes. It's very creepy looking, and it reminds me of Darren. At least me. It makes me think of like the Dark Dimension for some reason. Obviously, as it does this whole Venetian blind and noise effect as it goes along. Also, it's kind of curving a little bit. This is really well done. Oh, I'm so excited. Wynncraft Spellbound. Ooh. So cool. That is so freaking cool. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the website. I already actually have it opened over here. And I'm just going to go through these bullet points because it's easier to do that when it's explicitly... I hit the mic, I'm sorry. I hit it again. When it's explicitly telling you all of the things rather than just kind of showing you them, which is how I like to take in information at least. So, yeah. So, Wynncraft 2.0 Spellbound. Coming soon. Follow us to be notified when the beta and changelog comes out. Ability tree. So, discover over 350 new abilities and combos with the ability tree. Gain ability points by progressing and spend them to unlock new upgrades. Each class now has 3 archetypes, each with dozens of different abilities spread around on their tree. You can mix and match some archetypes or focus only on one. That point right there. You can mix and match or you can focus only on one. That is really cool. Although it does say some, so it has me interested to see what some means. There's probably some archetypes that you can't mix in certain ways, which, you know, fair enough. Obviously, this is still pre-release, so there's still going to be stuff that needs to be worked on. I'm really hoping that once I can get my hands on the beta and I can play around with it a bit, I can kind of really see to what extent it does all of these things, but that has me very excited. Also, ability points. This is something that's brand new, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it would replace skill points. It would make sense if it did, maybe. But I feel like skill points is still going to be a thing, at least for now, just based on the way that they do work. So you'd have 2 things to juggle, which is not bad. I prefer that, honestly. But I guess we'll have to see. So it could be a thing where you still have skill points that you can put into, like, well, I really want to focus on water damage, but on my skill tree, I want to focus on getting this, and this skill, rather than I'm going to get this because it increases my water damage. So I'm interested to see how that works. Obviously, I don't know, and we're gonna just have to wait and see. I love how smooth these are, though. God damn. All right, but yeah, so this is a little comparison here from 1.20, which is the current update, and 2.0, which is coming. So upgrades per class, there's 8 in the current version. There's over 70 in 2.0. Total upgrades in 1.20 is 40. So yeah, that's just the total overall. Archetypes per class, 3. So there's 3 different playstyles that you can focus on or mix and match, which is really cool. So for a total of 15 archetypes, which I think, not that I have much experience with PvP or guild stuff in general, but I feel like this could change the PvP landscape because it just adds so much more variety. Because you can look at another player that you're about to fight, and you can see, oh, they're a mage. They have, I presume, this piece of equipment, this piece of equipment, and this piece of equipment, which makes them really good at fighting this way. But I have this equipment that helps me combat that type of fighting this way. At a glance, if you've memorized a lot of things, or just like know what some of the best builds are for every class, you can at a glance know how that other person is going to roughly play and counteract it with your own play. Whereas with this, you can see a mage and you will have no idea if they are a high damage mage. Maybe, I don't know. Obviously, this is dependent on stuff. But with skill trees, you can't look at them and know exactly where they put all of their points in their skill tree. How would you? So it adds a bit more of a variety to fights. I do want to get into the PvP stuff more, but I just haven't really gotten to that point. And then the highest upgrade level, which this is very interesting to me, currently is 66. I think that's what this means, is that's the last level that you get an upgrade to your spells. Currently it's 66, which I didn't realize it was that low. I thought you got a last upgrade at a much higher level, but I guess I could be wrong. Whereas here, it makes level 104 the last upgrade level, which is very intriguing to me. So then from here, from the madness of the fallen warrior to the wisdom of the lightbender mage, there is a vast amount of different playstyles to experience. Ability tree system, hundreds of upgrades, class rebalance, unique archetypes for each class, new combos, and builds. So this looks like it gives you 2 of the archetypes. Fallen warrior is one, and then lightbender mage is the other. And then we also, I think we know 2 of the mage archetypes already. So that'll be very interesting. So fallen warrior is probably kind of like a, it's not a Bushido, it's like a Ronin. So it could be someone, a warrior that does a lot of damage, doesn't have as much defense as other warriors might, but it probably makes up for that lack of defense for damage, which would be cool. That would be very cool. Whereas the lightbender mage sounds like they might be a bit more of a support focused mage. I don't know. I need to know. I mean, as soon as we all know what the 3 are called, it'll help differentiate what they all do. But lightbender has me assuming that it's a bit of support or utility, maybe? I don't see that being a high damage archetype, but it could be. It very much could be, especially against if there's a different type of combat system where instead of elemental, it's also I do light damage. This is an enemy that is dark. That is an enemy with the darkness, and I do light damage against them, and it does extra damage. But if I fight against an enemy that's part of the light, I don't do as much damage because it resists it. It could be interesting if it works out that way. So this is actually another look at the thing that it showed off in the trailer here, which I assume is the skill tree. Oh, it looks so pretty. Whoever designed this, you did a phenomenal job. Or just the people that designed this. This looks so pleasing on the eyes. It's so cool looking. So it looks like there's different symbols here. I don't know if they'll mean anything, but it looks like there's 3 different paths, at least from the top here. And this is probably where you choose your first branch of the skill tree. So these big ones are probably like big changes to your class. These little ones are probably smaller changes. It looks like these white ones, they're repeated quite often. So are these yellow ones. So it could be the white ones give you a little bit of extra damage or an extra little bit of skill, or like changes or increases the effectiveness of new abilities. These big red ones are probably the different abilities that you can use, or like the different versions of each ability. Like, for example, say this is for the heal spell, and there's 3 different types. That's a bad example. Meteor. We'll say it's for the meteor spell, and there's 3 different types. So one does is like your normal meteor. It does fire damage. It is a little slow, and it does a lot of damage if it lands. Whereas another one could be a smaller, less damaging, but faster meteor that hits enemies quicker, but has like less effective range. Still does a good amount of damage, but it is more likely to hit because of its speed. And then another one could be like, I don't know, an ice meteor. It's the same thing, except it does like ice damage or different elemental damage. And then like these yellow bits could add to the skills, and these white bits could be adding to your character. I don't know what the pink bit would be. Maybe that's like a major change? I don't know. But there's also this whole thing where it's these arrows right here. So this is probably how you scroll through the skill tree here. So you can scroll down, scroll up. And then these 3 things, the only thing that comes to my mind is these are the 3 archetypes. And it kind of shows you like how you're progressing through these 3. Ooh, I just realized something. Wait a minute. Red, red, purple, purple, white, white. Huh. So it could be the 3 different archetypes. Or I guess it could be like, I don't know. I don't actually know. That's interesting that they kind of line up. We're going to move on from that though. And we're going to look at this. So these are some of the new abilities. And I want to look at this one first, not only because it's first in the list, but also because it has some very interesting text in it. Crepuscular Ray. I have no idea if I said that. Crepuscular Ray. If you have 5 focus, casting Arrow Storm will make you levitate and shoot 20 homing arrows per second until you run out of focus. While in that state, you will lose 1 focus per second. Total damage, 20% of your DPS per arrow. Lightning damage, 15%. Water damage, 5%. Sharp Shooter archetype. Combat level minimum 1. Ability points 2. Required ability, Arrow Storm. Minimum Sharpshooter archetype, 0 out of 8. So in order to get this ability, you need to have probably 8 things invested into the Sharpshooter archetype for Archer. You have to have the Arrow Storm ability, as this modifies Arrow Storm. And it uses this thing called Focus, which I don't know if that's replacing mana for the Archer class, or if maybe what's going on there is Focus is its own separate thing that you build up, and you still use mana to cast spells. Obviously, it doesn't say you have to use Focus to cast Arrow Storm, so you probably still use mana to cast Arrow Storm, but if you have Focus, 5 Focus at least, then it will use that 5 focus and then drain 1 focus per second while this is available, which is very, very interesting. So there's going to be a whole new layer to combat with the focus system along with mana, I assume. I don't think focus would replace mana, but yeah. So this tells you already that this ability is mostly lightning damage, I believe is what that is. I know that's water. Also, another little detail that I've noticed right here. The color of the text. The color of the text here is related to the color of these icons. So the red ones probably add abilities to your spells. So Crepuscular Ray is in red here. So it's probably one of these red choices in the skill tree, which is very interesting. And also another little detail that I'm noticing while I'm looking at this. Manicism is purple, much like this one. There is no yellow or white text skill in here. So I can only assume that red and purple are the most important ones as they change the nature of some of your spells and how some things work. The white ones probably add damage, reduce cooldown, reduce the amount of mana it costs to cast, stuff like that. Or just adds general skill points to your character. And then the yellow ones are kind of like in between the purple and the whites. They do a little bit more, but they don't do anything crazy. Yeah, so there's that. So that's the sharpshooter archetype, at least one of the abilities for it. The trickster archetype, which is for, I assume, assassin? Your clones will mimic your spells and abilities while they're active, deal minus 70% damage. So you lose a lot of your damage with this, but mirror image. Yeah, no, I think this is assassin. So this is like a survivability thing. Very interesting. Yeah, so mirror image, trickster archetype 1 of 4. Manicism. So this is a purple one. If you receive a hit that's less than 5% of your max HP, gain 10 mana. 1 second cooldown. Paladin archetype! Hey! So there's the paladin. Ooh, that's going to be exciting. I love paladins. They're super cool. I'm the person that plays clerics almost all the time in D&D, so cleric's awesome. Ability points to, yeah, so paladin archetypes. So this is, yeah, so this one doesn't require nearly as much invested into the paladin archetype or its specific archetype. It only requires 3 skills in that one, whereas, it's probably a case of the red and the purple ones are specifically for the archetypes. The yellow and the white ones are for everything. Interesting. This is just my idea. So this is Trapper archetype. This is another archetype for Archer. So we have Trapper, Sharpshooter. We have Paladin and Fallen Warrior. So we know 2 of Warriors. We know 2 of Archers. We know 2 of the Mages. Lightbender Mage and Arcane Mage. So we know a bit more about those 3. And we know 1 of the assassins. This is probably Trickster. Yeah. So it seems like they probably have the most done for Warrior, Archer, and Mage, which makes the most sense because those are going to be the easiest to come up with archetypes for. Assassin's going to be a little bit harder, at least in the scope of Wynncraft. And Shaman obviously still needs more time. But that's completely fine. I'm liking everything that I'm seeing so far. So Ballistic Trap. Or Basaltic Trap. When you hit the ground with an arrow bomb, leave a trap that damages mobs. Max 2 traps. Total damage 200%, lightning damage 140, earth damage 30, fire damage 30. So that adds up to 200%. So of the total damage, 200%, 140% of it will be electric, 30% will be earth, and 30% will be fire. I wonder if there's skills in here that change around the balance. Hey, it's Editing Steve here. I just realized something, and that is that the elements actually tell you the exact elements that are doing damage, whereas that first one is just normal damage, and I did not realize that at the time. So whenever I say thunder damage, and it says damage, it's just normal damage. To make it so that neutral damage will only be 30%, and fire damage will be 140% of the damage from these bombs. Could be interesting. Area of effect 7 blocks? Circle shaped? Hey, yo! Okay, so that seems like that's going to be a really good ability for large groups of enemies for the Trapper archetype. And this one is actually the first one. Okay, so that disproves my theory of the red ones are going to require more investment. This one only requires 1 thing in the Trapper archetype. Damn, that's pretty cool. And all of these seem to be costing 2 ability points? I don't think any of them cost 1. No. Okay. So this one, this is very interesting to me. Arcane Mage. Meteor and Ice Snake will add +5 mana to a mana bank for every aggressive enemy you hit. Heal will now transfer the content of your mana bank into usable mana instead of healing. Required ability heal, only 2 things required in Arcane Mage archetype. Now this is probably very exciting for the people that want to play Mage as pure DPS. Obviously, as DPS, you're going to use Meteor and Ice Snake to crowd control and damage out the wazoo. And if you can manage your health with just potions, or if you're in a group with someone else who's healing for you, and your heal ability doesn't heal you, but it basically restores the mana that you used, you can just keep fighting. You don't have to worry about your regeneration as much, at least for a little bit. This allows you to do a lot more burst, I'm sure. So it seems like the Arcane Mage is the burst damage. I think it was mentioned that it was. I could be mistaken. I'm not going to go back up, though. So all of these look really cool, and I'm very excited to get my hands on the skill tree and take a look at it myself. So yeah, then there's the new raid. This update brings our newest and most difficult raid yet, the Nameless Anomaly, level 105. Located on the Silent Expanse, you must bring 3 other allies, so it's a 4-person raid, in order to challenge it. Receive unique items and tomes by defeating the boss guarding it. I don't remember if there's any other empty slots for tomes as of right now. I think there might be. So this would fill that up. Also, can I zoom in on that? Dang. Okay. Level 250? Oh, damn. Also, this allows me to get a better look at this guy. So this is the new boss of the raid. There is only a few details that I can really make out. This zoomed in, but I was hoping I could see the name. I see a giant E. I think I see like a corrupted LIB hashtag sharp T. So it looks like it's scrambled. Obviously, they don't want us to know the name of the boss because, you know, duh. So it could give away something. But it looks like it's defensed against air, lightning, and earth. That might be water. But it does air and lightning damage, at least of right now. I don't know if that would change in the future, but dang. Good on them for covering that name up, though, because I definitely would have. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has done that, but ooh, yes, so this looks like the entrance to the raid here. Pretty cool. All right. Not much to say about the raid, so I think I've already said quite a bit about it when I was looking at the trailer. So new combat system. We've reworked the entire combat and damage system from scratch. It is now more robust and stable. We fixed many long-term bugs, and now it allows us to design countless new abilities. So, improved combat in general. I mean, with the skill tree and all of the different systems that they're adding, yeah, I would say so. Cleaner spell particles. So this one just says every spell has its particles and effects updated. They are now more accurate, show their hitbox, and have an improved look, which I very much appreciate. I like the look of like the current stuff, but sometimes, yeah. Also, particle limit system. Spells will automatically adjust their particles based on how many abilities are being used near you, making it easier to see what's happening and making spells rendering less laggy in general. That's pretty sick. Not gonna lie. That is really cool. I love that because whenever, man, there was that one time that I fought in like a huge group of people against the Lost Sanctuary boss that I really can't remember the name of for whatever reason. It got laggy because there's so many of us just chucking spells at him the whole time. It was great. So yeah, updated mana system so that, yeah. So it says it here. It doesn't say specifically how, but it looks like we have higher numbers and more versatility when using mana. Obviously, the costs are going up, but we have a higher maximum amount. And based on the first, or at least second, movement spell that was shown in the trailer with that archer character in Deathless, I believe it was. It might have been Deathless. It might have been Corcus. I can't remember, and I don't feel bothered to go back and look. But it looked like it only cost half of one of the orbs for your mana meter, whereas before that would cost about 2, I want to say. So the costs are up, but they also seem like they might be down, but I don't know for sure. That's just my guess based on what we have seen so far. Status effect system. This is really cool. Effects will now queue up and mobs will show their active status at all times. If, for example, you have both a plus 30% damage status effect and a plus 50% damage one, the plus 50% one will stay active and then switch to the plus 30% one once over. That is so cool. That is so very cool. It stacks status effects. It knows, hey, you're supposed to get plus 30 damage from this, but you just did this thing that tells me that you're also supposed to get plus 50% from this. Well, it stacks them. I don't know if it'll do whatever one does the highest amount first and leave the other one on the back seat, or if it does whatever one was cast first. Probably that. So it'll do the 30% first, and it lasts 5 seconds. And after the 5 seconds are over, the 50% will start. And that one's supposed to last 3 seconds. Even though the 30% one lasted 2 seconds longer, the 30% still has 3 seconds. That is really cool. I assume that's how that works. That is so cool. And then reworked base spells, they now feel better and are more responsive. Always happy to see that. And the new and reworked quests. So we're finishing what we started with the previous update. All quests from Gavel have been updated and or reworked. We're using the power of our latest Script 2 system. So that's the new system that they've been using to do, I believe, the new dialogue. I could be incorrect on that. To bring the highest quality content we've made yet. We've also rebuilt and improved multiple builds across the map. That's really exciting. All of the rework stuff is going to be really cool. So new and reworked quests, new items, new guild arenas, reworked Galleon Graveyard Dungeon. Yes, please. Reworked Corcus Caves and terrain. Interesting. Reworked Canyon of the Lost terrain. So yeah, I wasn't mistaken. The mountains look slightly different at that one town that got reworked. Reworked Candon Beta, that's what it is. Or is it Thesiad? I think it's Candon Beta. I can't remember. We worked in Sac, Candon Beta, and Thesiad. Is it one of the things here? I don't know. Ooh, hello. That's the giant guy. Nice. And that's all of it. I have been talking, holy crap, for over an hour about this. I've been talking for over an hour about a 2-minute trailer and a pretty short website. Oh my god. I had a lot to say, I guess. It's been a hot second since I've really looked through a lot of the patch notes and big updates from Wynncraft. I am very excited for this. I am very, very excited. I am glad that I was able to sit down with you guys and kind of just theorize on some of the stuff that I think is going on and just kind of give my thoughts on some of the stuff that I think is really cool. I'm so excited for 2.0. Wynncraft team, this looks so damn cool, and I'm so excited to try it myself and basically do a whole new play style. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be so cool. I am so excited for this. I really, really am. Oh. Well, I mean, I've been talking for a long time. I've been giving my thoughts on what I think might be going on. But if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I've said, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think or what you guys think will happen. Or if you guys think that something I said was incorrect, I would happily love to be corrected. I don't want to get any wrong ideas about it, but, you know, that's the whole point of, teasing stuff, is people want to guess what's going on. And I am people. I don't know how the beta works. I actually have access to it because a viewer, double V? Yeah, double V in my Discord. I don't know why I blanked on that so hard. So I do have access to the beta whenever it does come out. So I'm excited to try it myself. I really, really am. All right, but I've been talking for way too long. So as always, everybody, hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys keep having a great day. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And subscribe so you are notified of when, well, there are going to be new quests. I bring back the Wynncraft series, because when there's new quests, this boy's got to play through them again. So, heck yeah. So see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.